Hi, thank you for joining. We will wait a few seconds. Hi, everyone. Thank you. Welcome to our AI Demo Day, and thank you for joining the Israel Export Institute and the Growth for Growth Seligman event. My name is Limor Hutman. I lead the Innovation and Ecosystem Department with Elinor Bitzur from my team, the Israel Export Institute. Our aim is to create investment opportunities for startups by initiating and fostering collaborations with investors from Israel and abroad through our partners, the economic and trade missions worldwide. So today it's all about innovation and creativity. So let's dive in and get inspired. I would like to introduce you to Eyal Diskin, a partner in Growth for Growth Seligman High-Tech Department, who will moderate the event. Please, Eyal.
Thank you, Limor. Hi, everybody. I'm here from Itit from our firm. We are very excited to host this demo day, which is dedicated entirely to AI technology. AI technology is the new hot space in the high-tech industry. What's unique about it, I think one of the things at least that is unique about it is that it aims to transform not only the high-tech industry, but broad variety of industries. And this demo day is no exception. We have innovative companies from a variety of fields such as semiconductors, health, food, agriculture, and even psychology. So I want to jump to the presentation, which is kind of why we are all here. Each company will have 7 minutes to present, and afterwards we'll have time for Q&A. If you wish, you can write your questions in the chat, and we'll ask the presenter the questions afterwards. And if not, we'll open to discussion in any event. So I hope new connections will be generated from this day. Would like to start with 3D-Com Technologies. Ron Cohen, please.
Thank you, Eyal. So hello everyone. My name is Ron. I'm the founder and CEO of 3D-Com, which present Visit.co. It's our platform. A little bit about myself. Many years in managing high-tech companies. At my last position, I was managing a payment solution company with over 100 employees in Israel, in Berlin, and in Manchester, UK. And during the job, I was starting to invest a little bit in real estate. And every time I had to take a decision whether to invest or not, it was based on A4 floor plan of an apartment. So because I didn't understand the floor plans, I didn't came from real estate, I thought to myself that I'm probably not the only one who's not understanding floor plans. I checked it a little bit. It was in 2019, and I was looking for a way to take those plans and put them into some kind of software that can give me a 3D models that I can understand. And I didn't find anyone. Up until now, there isn't anything that works automatically from 2D floor plans to 3D fully realistic tours. And that's why I decided to open this company and create technology that will help anyone, the seller on one side, to better explain their projects, and the buyer on the other sides to better understand what they're purchasing as the most expensive purchase of their life. So what we've created is a SaaS platform that will enable everyone eventually to upload a 2D floor plan and get a 3D model that they can walk inside. This whole barrier of understanding plans, on the other side there's the company that they expert about it, and on the other side there the clients, which probably doing it for the first or second, but they're not expert in real estate. They're always looking for ways to better understand what they're purchasing. So we're trying to close the gap between those two sides and create something that everyone will understand. So we created a platform that you can actually upload the floor plan, choose on one side an interior design. I'll explain in a minute how do we do that, but get a result that is really fast. We wish to create this as a commodity to everyone. So this is an example of a private house that we got the plan. We created the whole structure immediately with our software and implemented interior design inside, so you can actually tour the whole house, all rooms and floors and everything in it. We do as well creating offices at the same way, projects of hundreds of apartments. We take the unique plans and we create the whole base of opportunity for people to go inside and enjoy the ability to check everywhere. We're usually doing this for new projects that you cannot go and take pictures or anything else. The only way to see them is by creating renderings like you see right now. And up until now, we sold hundreds, if not thousands, of apartments in Israel, in Dubai, and a little bit in the US. And that's our main goal. And now, this year, or a couple of years before, we got to know the AI abilities, and we are combining it now strong into our platform. So it will enable everyone to upload a floor plan, to give it a prompt of how do you wish it would look like, and our AI system will create it for you. You'll be able to control everything inside the scene, like the interior design, the flooring, the tiling, and everything else. We can use surrounding pictures from the actual place to give it a great result that you can see the actual view that you will get in the future when the project is ready, and you'll be able to feel and understand everything. And to that, we are adding right now the ability to even bring photos that you liked on Pinterest, for example, and you wish to implement them on the apartment that you wish to buy, or office, or anything else. So our AI abilities that we're developing is giving us a great chance to make everyone, interior designers, to give the company that sells real estate the ability to create with the clients and personalize with them the end result. And we see that it works greatly. We did a great project in Dubai recently with Emaar, and sold hundreds of apartments in a couple of days through our system. Just to understand the market, the rendering market, it's about to hit 11 billion in 2030. The American, the US market is controlling 40% of the global market. And currently we're doing, our clients are B2B clients. So we're selling for a real estate company or real estate agencies that sell real estate. Our business model is combined with a hosting monthly fee and a small fee per square feet or square meter. And again, they pay only for the unique plans inside the project. So if you have 100 apartments, but only 10 unique plans, so you pay only for those 10, and you get the whole project waiting and ready for you. A little bit about our company. We started in 2019, incorporated in 2020, raised up until now $2.3 million. A very important thing that happens to us recently is that Google liked our development and what we're doing. So we got to Google exclusive AI program, and we even got equity free cash amount of $100,000 to go and develop our technology. They see it as something that can be combined with Google Street View and other platforms that they currently use and provide to all others. Up until now, we have revenues of over $400,000 combining from Dubai, US, and Israel. And we're seeking around $2 million for this round to accomplish all of our AI abilities and other R&Ds and things that we need to develop. So we know for a fact that we are helping people to better understand. We know for a fact that people are selling better with our product, better with this solution. So hopefully it will be the standard as now A4 plans are and steel renders are. So we'll welcome you to join our journey. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Ron. Eleanor, do you want to take on the questions?
Yes, sure. Thank you very much, Dr. Eyal Diskin. Hi, everyone. I'm Eleanor. I'll be reading out the questions, and also later on, if anyone have more questions, please do mention. First question, what does the AI being used?
The AI is being used for the interior designing. So the ability to take any design that someone likes from a picture and implement it on a 3D environment is something that is very hard today to accomplish, because all the AI, they know how to read and create pictures, but they don't know how to address the 3D environment. So that's what we're creating. So it's mostly for the interior designing.
Okay. Another question. There are several players already in this domain. What is the difference from the incumbents?
All of them are currently doing it manually, and we're creating an automatic solution from A to Z. So if you go to any of the platforms that you'll upload the floor plan, you'll probably never get a result that look realistic or look good or something that you can already use to sell the projects. So that's the main difference. We're taking something from A to Z, and it's an automatic process which will enable everyone to use our product. And of course, it reduces costs and time to create them.
Okay. What is the AI which is being used?
We're creating now with Google, with Gemini. We tested many solutions, but right now we're focusing on Google solution.
Okay. Thank you very much. Any more questions before we move on? Okay, let's move on then. Please, Eyal. Thank you very much, Ron.
Eyal, you are on mute.
Sorry, guys. Moving on, we have now baby's fertility. Your own Zilmerman CEO, please.
Thank you, Eyal. Well, the world is in a fertility crisis stemming mostly from the male side. In the last 50 years, the average sperm count dropped by more than 50%. More severely, sperm quality degraded such that the definition of normal had to be lowered. Therefore, 1 in 6 people globally faces infertility, and IVF is booming according to all market research. However, although 96% of sperm cells are abnormal, for IVF they're selected arbitrarily, leading to limited success, more birth defects, higher costs, and tremendous emotional crisis. A solution to select the optimal cells was published already in 2001 in the most prestigious medical journal. The concept was to examine the cells one by one at high magnification, where all defects are seen. This method improved success rates and reduced birth defects by 45%. Nevertheless, this manual method did not become the gold standard because it is very long, inconsistent, and subjective, requires extensive training, and therefore expensive. We developed a fully autonomous Nespresso machine-like system for sperm selection. Just place the sperm in the cartridge, place the cartridge in the system, and press a button. And then take the cartridge out with the optimal sperm cells isolated. Our system is fast, consistent, and even more accurate than the human eye, fully automated, and therefore affordable. We have 2 technological pillars. First, AI scans all sperm cells in parallel and classifies them, disqualifies the bad ones, and finds optimal cells for pickup. Once found, the robotic arm will transfer them to the target droplet automatically. We raised $2 million seed round in 2021 from IVF doctors who own clinics. They understand both the clinical and business value of the product. We completed developing the system and installed one in a lab in Paris. Our next steps are productization, clinical studies, and FDA and CE submission. Sales will start still this year. Our founders, Gal Golov, who has a daughter only due to sperm selection, and Dr. Cassuto, a French fertility expert who own multiple clinics. My name is Yaron Silberman, CEO of the company. I have a PhD in AI, an executive MBA, and 27 years in medical devices. Our chairman, Itai Tzhaki, already had 2 exits for a total of $270 million in Biomed. We were recognized by multiple organizations such as IBM, NVIDIA, Hadassah, Calcalist, and Hapoalim and Discount Bank. As said, we're in a growing and big market, expected to reach $90 billion in 2027. Our total addressable market with only this first application is over $1 billion, and we have more in the pipeline. We are raising a $4 million seed extension round, of which $3 million were already raised. In addition, we won the maximal grant from the Israel Innovation Authority of $700,000. Therefore, we seek up to $1 million to complete the round and match the grant. In the past, as said, we raised additional $2 million, so $5 million raised to date overall. Our use of proceeds, as mentioned, clinical studies, FDA clearance, and commercial sales still this year. The company is significantly de-risked. We have a proven and needed product with both clinical and business value. We're recognized by multiple organizations, including IBM and NVIDIA, and won the maximal grant from the Israel Innovation Authority. We have 2 prototypes installed in the world, 1 complete product installed in Paris, and product development was completed. We're approaching clinical studies. We completed 2 investment rounds and now look for additional $1 million to match the grant. With your help, we will allow more couples to have healthy babies. Thank you.
Thank you, Yaron.
Yes, for the Q&A, I haven't received any questions. So if anyone have any questions regarding babies, please do type it so we can answer a few questions. Okay, first question, what would the FDA and the CE approval processes look like? What regulatory path?
Thank you very much. It's a very important question. For CE, according to the new MDR regulations, we're classified as class 1, the lowest risk possible, and therefore we will declare ourselves as CE compliant by the end of Q3. Therefore, no notified bodies are involved in the process. With the FDA, we completed the pre-submission process in 2023. We're classified as class 2 by the FDA, and we will be required to have a clinical study in the US planned for late this year, early next year. We plan on getting the CE, as I said, early 4th quarter of this year and start sales in Europe and elsewhere, and then get FDA clearance at the end of Q1 of next year and start commercialization right after.
Okay, next question. How many devices does he plan to make this year and next?
Excuse me?
How many devices do you plan to make this year and next?
This year we plan to make 20 systems and hoping to sell 15 of them. This is just putting a foot in the door. More methodological commercialization will start in 25. We will start engaging with distributors, relevant regional distributors around the world in the European Conference for Fertility in early July in Amsterdam, and we'll be ready for mass production by subcontractors in Israel and abroad of the system and the cartridges in Q1 for gross productization and commercialization.
Okay, 2 last questions. Where would the US test be conducted? What sort of IVF clinic? Would it be academic or not?
Both. It will be a multi-center study in the US, private clinics, as well as academic centers to allow the broad credibility. We are only right now pitching to clinics to engage and draw their attention. So I don't have the exact locations, but it will be 4 to 5 centers, probably a couple of private clinics, and then the academic centers, just a mix of them.
Okay, and one very last, what is the prospective pricing of the device and each selection?
Sure. The capital equipment is the console Its price is similar to the price of an incubator in the lab, which is very acceptable value for capital equipment in fertility clinics. The pricing of the cartridge, which is disposable and obviously the major source of revenue, is in the low hundreds. Will be priced differently in different markets per the advice of the regional distributors. However, very modestly, I could say that the margin on the cartridge is very high. In large quantities, namely in tens of thousands and certainly in hundreds of thousands, the cost will be, the COGS for babies will be only single digit in dollars. And as I said, reasonable pricing and reasonable, not for our view, but for the view of our investors who are, as I said, fertility experts, is in the low hundreds. So margin is over 90% easily.
Thank you very much, Yaron.
You're most welcome. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Yaron. So from real estate to fertility, now moving on to semiconductors. Moshe Noy of Caesarea Labs, please. Moshe, you're on mute.
Everyone, see my presentation? Okay. I'm Moshe Noy. I'm the founder and CEO of Caesarea Labs. We're a semiconductor startup specializing in enterprise software for post-silicon validation labs. This is a segment which I've been a part of during my tenure at Intel, where I worked as a product development engineer. The reason I left Intel is because I've observed this huge problem and saw that nothing was being done about it. And for me, the most obvious sign that change won't come internally was a project I tried to promote and was supposed to be very simple. It was just changing an infrared light bulb from a narrow spectrum one to a wide spectrum one on a fleet of specific debug machines. This project failed due to a lack of cooperation with the relevant stakeholders. And after speaking with hundreds of people from the industry about what they're experiencing in their positions and their companies, I understood why the project failed. In order for semiconductor companies to reliably get chips to market, they have to be laser focused on just that activity and on nothing else, not even on building capabilities that would greatly benefit them. They have those activities assigned to vendors. And unfortunately, in this segment, there were none until now. Before I continue to talk about the industry and the innovation we bring to it, I would like to introduce my teammates, Dr. Lior Falach, our CTO and industrial automation expert, Nathan Lifshitz and Oleg Shamrei, our software engineers who specialize in full stack development and machine learning and AI respectively. I've already introduced myself. I won't get too much into the details of our advisory board, but I just want to mention that they have complementary sets of skills to ours. So what is post-silicon validation and how does that fit into the semiconductor ecosystem? Post-silicon validation is essentially testing of physical chips to find problems that can't be found in pre-silicon validation. The workflow that defines the industry is the following. First, there's planning, which business requirements from customers such as Dell or Lenovo are transformed into technical requirements. Then comes design, in which circuits and code are created according to the technical requirements. Then comes pre-silicon validation, in which chip simulations and emulations are used to check various scenarios. Then, since pre-silicon validation is inefficient and insufficient to fully debug the chips, several thousands of bugged chips, that is, chips that we already know have faulty design, are produced. This is the small-scale manufacturing step. And then these chips are sent to post-silicon validation labs, which fully debug the chips. This is an iterative process in which bugs are sent back to design, we fix whatever issues are found, and then the process continues until the chips successfully pass the post-silicon validation step. Our focus, as previously stated, is post-silicon validation. The reason why we're focusing on this segment is because unlike any other segment in the industry, its problems aren't being addressed by any company except for us. These problems can be summed up into three categories: poor collaboration between the different teams and disciplines within the post-silicon validation labs, long test and procedure design time, and low test capacity of lab tools causing reduced productivity. What the industry is doing right now to meet at least some of these challenges, developing software solutions internally. These solutions who are wholly inadequate since they're poorly executed. Because remember, enterprise software isn't a core competency for semiconductor development companies. And these solutions are also outdated and they're very limited point solutions. This is causing a significant pain in the industry in the form of an explosion in cost attributed to post-silicon validation. The graph you see here shows the percentage dedicated to post-silicon validation as a percentage of total chip cost over time. Our software suite that will solve this includes 3 tools: an EDA, or electronic design automation, which will help engineers cut down on design time and improve quality for post-silicon validation labs, an MES, or manufacturing execution system, which will help optimize workflows and improve collaboration, and tool automation, which will enable labs to work 24/7, even when engineers aren't present to operate the lab tools. The market for this segment is significant. Just our immediate market, semiconductors, is over $3 billion a year. And this doesn't include all the adjacent industries, such as the traditional electronic board industry that are relevant to us as well. And this market is growing by about 10% yearly. In terms of our roadmap going forward, we've achieved our goals for last year, and our next steps are to continue our product development, have 2 design partners, and to complete our investment rounds. There are a couple of ways that we can acquire more customers. I've sorted them out by predicted effectiveness from top to bottom. And as you can see, the most effective method for us is marketing from within customer sites. The reason for this is that semiconductor companies have a sort of network effect that most people aren't aware of. And this network effect can be achieved by creating connections from within companies' compatibility departments. I can go into further detail about this in QA, but I'll just say that in order for your phone that has chips from 20 different companies to work properly without conflicts, basically, semiconductor companies have to collaborate with one another, and this is basically our way to create a bridgehead in a new company. As I said, we have already one design partner, Intel, and are looking to acquire another. We are part of the Alchemist Accelerator and the TLV Drive Journey program. We have already received investments from Alchemist and from Forum VC. And we are raising a $1 million round to finance further development and sales, with about 1/3 going to product development, 1/3 to marketing and sales, 1/6 to product implementation, and the rest to miscellaneous accounting, legal office, etc. Thank you for listening. Any questions?
Thank you very much, Moshe Noy. Any questions, please type them. We have 1 minute. Any last questions for Cesaria Labs? Yeah, I think we can move on. Thank you very much, Moshe Noy.
Thank you, Moshe. Okay, moving on. So now we'll hear how AI can help us detect emotions from voice data. Amir Liberman from Motion Logic, please.
Hi guys, thank you so much for your time. I wonder how all of you are feeling today. Unfortunately, I cannot really ask each and every one of you, but I'm pretty sure that the answer would be very similar. We're doing well, right? But the truth is that most of us are not really telling the truth about how we feel. And this is something that Motion Logic is most concerned about. We are actually built to bridge the gap between humans and machines, and in fact, infuse genuine emotion detection and personality into AI decision-making processes. This is the reason why we've built Motion Logic, and the story goes, just a very tiny story, but I was told it emphasizes everything. It was many years ago in far countries of Japan, where a call center manager asked me to tell him if I think we can predict if his customers are telling him honest thank you at the end of the call. And while I've tried to understand why, then the answer was not that surprising if you think about it. He said, well, you know, we are polite people. So when we say thank you, when we are asked, how do we feel about something, we say thank you, it was great. But then at the end of the call, I just hang up the meeting and he goes to find a competitor. And I have no saving for that. I cannot rescue the customer. So cut a long story short, today we analyze about 100 million calls in Japan alone every month. But this is just the basic, this is just the gist. We are competing in the EDR market, which is estimated by the research companies, most of them at $23 billion in 2022, growing on a very exceptional rate of about 30% a year, estimated to reach $43 billion by 2027. These are all pre-ChatGPT era. So we believe these are actually going to be much better. This is dissected into multiple different sections, such as call center and healthcare, human resources, business intelligence, and market research. And what we actually have today is a platform that can really address all that. Just to look at the competitive edge, there are many actors playing in this field. So actually every big company today has something to do with sentiment analysis or emotion detection. Most of them are done by keyword spotting. So if I say I'm very angry with you, it will say, oh, the customer is probably very angry. Some actually do better than that, and they actually listen to the tones of voice. So if I say I'm very angry with you, then it will mean that I'm very angry with you. But obviously, I was just expressing anger. I wasn't really feeling it. And if you remember the initial indication about Japanese market, this is hardly done. I think the closest competitor we have today is Zoom, a company that just raised $50 million and created a robot that allegedly sends emotions. I think they are doing it really from words and some combination of sounds. They say they go a bit deeper than that, but our test with it didn't show that way. We are based, our technology, core technology for emotion detection is based on our parent company's voice analysis technology. Our parent company is named Nemesysco. It is working with governments and security organizations around the world for 27 years now. I manage both companies today, so I know the core. Emotion Logic is built on 4 pillars of principles. One is GDPR compliant. We actually keep privacy at the top concerns. We work with data protection at design level. We work with SOC and ISO. These are just being completed as we speak today. We work with cloud and on-prem solutions, so we can comply with any regulations that maybe customers needs. And we have a very lucrative pricing plan that allows us SaaS profitability, which is typically ranging in the 900s and above % of profit per case. 3 business models that we support today: pay-as-you-go, subscription, enterprises. Some of the key pricing for different types of tests that can be conducted through the platform. We're talking about investigation, KYC, starting from $4 a minute. Call center tests, which range from $1 to 36 cents a day per agent. We talk about recruitment and personality assessment at $7 a test, fraud detection, risk assessment, $5 a test. And we are talking in the next year to introduce virtual beings into the workforce. This will be really a subscription-based and can range from $500 to $2,500. These are expected only next year. The platform is ready. You can log in, you can join, you can start using it today. It is as simple as opening an account, uploading your audio, and getting results that looks like this. The combination of the AI is based on a unique protocol. I will show it in a minute. But it's important to understand that the platform is really made for 2 different verticals. One for SaaS users. You can, in fact, as a user, log in, analyze your data. It can be just a thought, analyzing analyzing investor sessions and startup speeches. And it can be anything else that relates to sending WhatsApp messages to customers in different ways of acquiring voice into the analysis. FieldGPT is actually the top notch of the pyramid. It says, let's take the voice, let's extract emotions, let's extract the speech, let's combine them together, and let's put it under an envelope of a dedicated, specialized expert in a specific field. That can be quality assurance, it can be recruitment, it can be sales, it can be pretty much anything else, market research or fraud assessment, etc. This example talks about mental health and the way that we can, in fact, take a statement that is made by a participant. Here we see a protocol of a field GPT. This is a protocol taken from one of our employees in a very bad day. And while he was talking and the language was very positive, the emotions detected were very negative. And of course, what we care about when we deal with people is how they really feel. Because if you actually care about how they sound or what they say, then our technology is not really suitable for you. Other way to use the technology is by sending automated questionnaires using WhatsApp. You can customize any questionnaire for practically any need. It can be complementary to a claim intake. It can be complementary to an insurance procedure. It can be a market research, just a survey with customers, anything that you can really think of. Results are just the same. The core technology, as I mentioned before, LVA engine, started research in 1997, identifies 151 unique biomarkers that you will never find anywhere else. These are proprietary to us. $30 million invested so far in the technology, 300 human years invested, and all with an unparalleled baggage of recordings that today is simply illegal to hold. So we have them from the time it was pre-GDPR. We've started early. Technology was researched by top universities around the world. We've received awards from multiple security organizations around the world, just to show that the technology is indeed sound and valid. And what are we looking for today? We've invested 2.5 million up to date in Emotion Logic itself. To build a platform, this is the investment that was taken by me personally and Emotion and Nemesisco as the parent company. We are seeking today $10 million to kickstart marketing and to put it on the afterburner. Sorry. We need to go into the market big, and this is beyond my capabilities to support personally. Most of the money will go to marketing and sales. We still have to, of course, maintain development. We still have to increase human capital in the company. And we will allocate about 5% to educate the market about the necessities of emotions, how to really use them. That's really it. I'll be happy to take questions. And guys, you can take a QR code, scan it with your camera, and take a sweet personality test that will reveal who you really are. In a nice way, of course. The one that bites is not available here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Amir. Another question, is there a GA already? Which application?
GA? Sorry.
Is there a GA?
Which stands for? G? I'm sorry, you got me on my terminology.
Yes. Okay, so,
We've got
Cernal availability.
Yes, this is okay. The platform was developed since 2022. The company was started in 2022. We started the development of the platform, and we've brought initial customers to use the APIs pretty much from 2023. And the platform was available for limited amount of partners since 2023, and was open to users publicly from January 2024. There are, I think, today about 600 accounts active on the platform. Out of it, I think 6 or 7 pay significant amounts of money month after month already. Not enough to bring the needed investment for the marketing, but certainly enough to show that this is solid.
Okay. Just one quick question, little question. Why don't you name it Fields GPT?
Field GPT was just to show the combination between emotions and GPT. It was 2023, I think, that it was coined the name, and that was just to ride on this specific wave.
Thank you very much, Amir Lieberman.
Thank you.
Please, Eyal, thank you very much.
Thank you, Amir. Moving on now, we'll see how AI can help in food production. Gabe's AI, Shai Mishor, please.
מה?
גם לי היה...
לא, אתה דיברת נורא מהר. I had some background noise. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for showing up, and thanks very much for all the people who worked hard to organize this meeting. My name is Ishai. I have a PhD in law and economics, lawyer and economist by training. I was a professor at Oxford University for several years, and that in Oxford, I did my first startup that was sold successfully 6-7 years ago. Since 2020, I'm full-time in Gaius, and you know, you hear so many things that AI can do, and it looks like it can solve any problem. You just need to choose the problem that you want to solve. And my question is, what can we do for climate, for the climate catastrophe using AI? And since the food industry, more than any other industry in the world, more than the airline industry, is the #1 cause for greenhouse emissions, population growing, demand for mass food production is expected to grow. What can we do in order to make a more sustainable food production, and by that, help alleviate the critical problem of climate change? You can create more sustainable production, reduce food waste, and significantly decrease climate impact by using AI while you make tons of money. Because if there's one thing that big food companies love, is to reduce cost. So that's the story I'm going to tell you in the next couple of minutes. There we go. So the company is called Gaius. And basically what we do is take standard production equipment for mass scale food production and then turn it into smart autonomous machines. And by that, reduce cost and reduce waste significantly. The founding members next to me are accidentally both of them called Moshe. Moshe 1 was chief technologist for Nestle Israel, and Moshe the second comes from Unilever in high positions as a mechanical engineer, among them responsible for the entire extrusion operation of Unilever in Central Asia. And extrusion is the specific machine that we attack. We chose this machine to attack because it has a huge impact. All of the balloons you see here are products made by food extrusion machines. All of them are made by the same machine, and our technology is focused on upgrading this machine. Today, these machines work in a way that is fully adjusted by people. So you have a group of engineers that are responsible for dozens and sometimes hundreds of decisions you have to take per minute in order to operate this machine. And what we offer is using computer vision and a special command algorithm, basically to use data in order to reinvent the protocol. You do not change the machine itself. So there's no mechanical change to the machine. There's only new way to command that machine. And we call that smart extrusion. This is a standard industrial, that's our team, by the way. This is a standard extruder machine that creates Bamba, Cheetos, ingredients from meat alternatives, dog food, cat food, and so on. The idea is that every single flake that comes out turns into a data point. And with a set of sensors that we developed and using a large set of data, we can control this machine A to Z in a way that is not available today in the market and is not even available by any other innovation effort, not by big and not by small companies. The bottom line is mostly about cost. So we're talking about reducing of manufacturing setup by a significant order, reducing production costs because you reduce the amount of ingredients that you waste, and increasing machine capacity. So the idea is using the same machine, you can create more products at a lower cost. There's also some impact in terms of quality, and I'm happy to discuss that in the Q&A if that's of interest. The business model is charging by license to use our technology. So we basically install the platform on our client's machine. And then in a matter of 3 to 4 weeks, without harming the production capacity, we increase their, in about 3 to 4 weeks, there's already improvement in all of the above parameters, and we charge our clients per kilo produced, so by the tonnage that the company is producing. There are 3 big players in the world that are producing these extruder machines, a German, a French, and a Swiss. Sounds like the beginning of a joke. These three control the entire market. We are talking to all three of them, and we are in agreement now with one of those three for a strategic investment, plus installing our platform on their new machine. I mean, on their new machines, sorry. I'm going to jump straight to the pilot that we did. In the last year and a half, we've tried our technology using our own machine, basically to show that we can deal with food mass production. And today among our clients are Burger King and soon Nestle. This means that this technology has been fully validated and even used for production of food with multinationals. And we're talking about a total market of $250 to $300 billion per year. That's the entire production of extruder machines around the world. And from it, at a very conservative assumption, our own cut should be at around $380 to $400 million per year. That's assuming a 30% penetration. As I said, different segments of food, each of them has its own rules, with its own prices of ingredients, of raw material, and its own rate of food waste. So there's a delicate analysis as in terms of the strategy where to go first. We started with meat substitutes, and we are now moving into pet food. Just a general look at the map of companies that are involved in that area. You have a few AI companies that are doing dashboard for food production. And there's a bunch of companies that are doing extruder machines. No company that I know of is dealing with increasing capacity in extruder machines using data as we do. We own 3 patents. The most important main patent, the first one, is submitted to international qualification next month, and 0 exposure to academia and our R&D collaborations. Last point, we do our R&D on a real size industrial machine. One of the problems of this field is that you cannot work on miniature, lab size machines. So we purchased a full size industrial extruder machine, which we use only for R&D, and that's going to be installed in our home in Caesarea Industrial Park. A quick look on timeline. Founded in 2020 and 21, we did our proof of concept at the pilot facility of Coperion. That's the German company I mentioned before. First product, food product in market, proven to be best in European market in 2022. We got a full-size Israel Innovation Authority grant in 23, and just a couple of weeks ago, we were given the second phase for 2024. A deal with Burger King that is going very well, and soon, still in 24, we will see the deal with Nestle being signed. We are asking for $5 million to complete a full $10 million round. Among our investors are some of the biggest food tech ventures in the world, including the largest food tech investor, which is Big Idea Ventures from New York. And I'm happy to answer any of your questions. Thanks very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Yishai. Any questions for Gaius AI? This is the time.
Guys, you had an espresso machine for sperm. I'm sure that this is you can find a question for a food machine that is based on AI.
You need AI to find the question.
Yeah.
Okay, one last chance. Any questions? Okay, I think we can move on.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. There you go, Eyal.
Thank you. Thank you, Yishai. Moving on, back to healthcare, digital health. Karen Golan from Idan Health.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me, and thank you for all of the participants that you gave us the time. We are Idan, a new era of healthcare, wellness, longevity, and getting the information in one place so the data can be used for actionable insights. We created an AI tool to give an option for the clinician to work better on clinical trials. The goal is to prevent what happened in the last 500 years. In an average year, we have approximately 50 million studies running $2.5 trillion spent. And all in all, we only have less than 500,000 clinical trials that were being published. So the majority of the data was lost. And there is no way going back and getting the information from the researchers that ran the clinical trial and get the data to run the next generation of clinical trial. We created a platform that collects medical data, digitized medical data, to hold all the information in one place. Because the raw data comes from clinical trials, we started there. The goal is to get the patient, the subject, a tool to work with the clinician and monitor himself, herself, to give the information back to the research so the research can be much more effective, less time than they use to spend today. And at the end of the day, the statistics can be running ongoing with the platform for the questionnaires that they already have. In that subject, we don't like questionnaires. So we translated everything into an avatar. So everything is graphical. The subject doesn't have to answer a question in a questionnaire. They can basically give their emotion or monitor their symptom into the avatar so the clinician on the other side can get the information they need. On the researcher side, we have a desktop, a very, very simple desktop that is task-oriented. In order to give an order to the subject, the clinician can basically tell the researcher, the patient, to go get a pill once a day, to adjust his diet, to test himself for any majority of tests that he needs. And at the end of the day, the communication between the researcher and the patient and the subject is much more effective. Everything can be held inside the software because everything is divided. It's GDPR compliance. The information is being concealed, so the patient is the one who's asking the researcher to get into the research. So it's HIPAA compliant default, and the entire thing makes the research much more effective, much more short in time, and much more cost effective, so it doesn't have to run for years in order to get the information they need ongoing. What we did in the back is creating a many-to-many algorithm, which is a very unique AI engine that runs on top of 6 different databases that were being collected from all across the world, which is ICD-11, the majority of illnesses already published, the 1,500 symptoms in the human body, and so on and so forth. And the goal is to get all the data in one place so the research can use the data in a lot of more options that they already have today, which is very scarce. On the other side, we're trying to create a cost-effective premises for the entire research facilities and get the access for the data that they need, which is right now unavailable to them. The team is very diverse. We're coming from a lot of disciplines, which makes it very easy creating a very diverse AI platform. The advisory board is helping as much as the team itself, And they are too coming from a lot of disciplines that can give us the benefits to cross reference in a lot of areas. One of the things that we're building inside the platform is the option to get information through the data that was already being collected. And we started seeing patterns in the data that can be future engines of revenue for the company, one of which was already patented last year. And there are 5 more ongoing. 2 of them are already in cooperation research with other facilities, and the data is flowing in. The goal is to give the world a new idea of how healthcare can be held. One of the test cases that we already did is find a prevention protocol for migraines, and 3,000 people already using it and have the benefit of not suffering from headaches anymore in the past 30 months. I'm sure you know the market as well as I do. The pharmaceutical market is huge, and we're not even cutting through a piece of it. But the goal is to give them a way to run better clinical trials on what they're already doing. So we're not cutting a piece of their market. We are implementing our solution and giving them an option to do it better. There are already several players in the market, and the goal is to get there sooner because none of them are giving the entire scope of what we're doing. And hopefully we can give them the option to work with us, which is in 3 years to go to the FDA and give them the option to work with a unique platform that is centralized data for everybody. So in a day-to-day operation, we're working with CROs and with clinics. And in 3 years, we're hoping to give any subject in a clinical trial a way to create his own medical ID and run his own personal information inside the software. We are in the midst of raising $2 million seed round, and to complete it, since we already in the market and have 3 new customers and 10 more in the pipeline, we are hoping to close the 2025 year with more revenue than that, and get the software to more than 1 continent, so more CROs can work with that. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Karen Golan. One question, who is the customer at the organizations you are selling to?
Yeah, so the customers are CRO, contract research organizations, the body that is running the clinical trial for the pharmaceutical companies on one hand, and on the other, we have clinics who are giving a service to the population around them and can run any kind of clinical question that is inside the clinic, and all the patients are suffering from the same illness or the same problem that the clinician wants to pursue.
Okay, any more questions for Idan Health? Okay, I think we can move on. Thank you very much, Karen.
Thank you very much.
Eyal, please.
Yes, our last but definitely not least presenter is
Karen.
Hi, Karen, from Yavul, AI for the agriculture industry. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Okay. So, good afternoon. My name is Karen, CEO of Yavul Info. I have decades of financial backgrounds and innovation management in ICL. And no, this is not my kids' drawing over there. It's a riddle. Can't you see? I mean, can't you differentiate between those 2 leaves, between this and this, or between this and this one? I guess you can't, right? Can you? So let me tell you a story. Farmers face the immense challenge of increasing food production to meet the needs of a growing population, while also managing limited resources and environmental constraints. While precision agriculture solutions are widely available and offer the potential to significantly boost farm profits, many of these technologies are often too complex and technical for the average farmer. We appreciate the farmer's experience, but even the most experienced farmer cannot notice a health deterioration process while it is not yet seen, and the leaves are green and healthy. We detect the micro changes in the green of plant leaves days before they become visible, days before any damage can be shown or the symptom can be shown on the leaf. And how is that? So traditional agriculture protocols often overuse fertilizer to maximize yields and bolster plant immunity against unforeseen threats such as disease or extreme temperatures and other stresses. This practice, however, leads to significant financial waste and environmental harm. Excess fertilizer leaches into the soil, contaminating water sources, and can even cause salinization, reducing yields. So as you can see here, maximum yield is between those two lines. And although the common practice is here, and although it uses so many nutrition in order to immune the plant, eventually this is the optimal amount. That's the same yield. It's like us human beings. If we eat too much, we won't be healthier. We can be sick because we can get diabetes or high cholesterol or whatever. Same the crops. Here you may see the IoT system. The camera is actually staring at the crop out of the greenhouse ceiling continuously. It's very important to remember it's staring continuously, taking pictures and send them to the algorithm for analysis. If a deterioration starts, the trend is being figured out in 3 days. And while the leaf is still green, we intervene and continue to monitor. We are actually afford the crop in each of its life stages the most accurate nutrition it needs. So the farmer gets a fully automated and easy to use system with no maintenance, which is very important to us with our business model. You can see here an example of an independent trial that we've done with our R&D system center in the north of Israel. So you can see that although we've proved a 30% decrease of fertilizers, and by that we've also at the end of the season could weighted the leaders between the control and the tripod, and we saw increased yield by 20%. It means that salinization can harm the plant. The holy grail of our trials was done in the Hebrew University with Professor Moshe Leon's plant detect system, which measured exactly what went into the crop and what went out of the crop to the soil. The correlation between both measurements was so high, so it proved our capability to detect a trend in crop health in 3 days completely. So what do these control tests show? So of course that we proved that standard protocols not only waste a lot of fertilizers and the money for the grower, it also can harm the yield, and in the worst case, it can also contaminate the soil, water, and of course affect GHG emission. As you can see here with our competitors, so we actually measured what was most important to us with the close sensing modeling. So we can see that, so we can see that our main competitor that talks, the only one that talks about overnutrition, that talks about overuse is DOTS, but what they do is measure the excess in the soil. which is actually a lot, much more late. It's too late after what happened in the leaf. What happened in the soil can be a reflection of the previous season. Another example that you can see here, continuous monitoring. Continuous monitoring can be done by us with our RNG camera. It can be done by satellites or drones or sensors in the ground on the leaves, but it's very expensive and it demands too much maintenance and even manhole. So what is the main important thing that I want to emphasize here? Agri-IoT, for example, Agri-IoT, it's very convenient thing that they are doing. They take their camera and they take a picture of the leaf. But when they take this picture, they can understand, they can say exactly when they are accurate, they can say exactly what the measurement of nitrogen that there is inside the leaf. And according to that, they can say increase, decrease. But it's like taking my fever. When I take my fever once a week, it's not saying anything about what is going to happen at the end of the day. Because me, Karen, I'm 36 degrees Celsius all my life. It happened only a couple of times that I was 37.2, like men when they're very ill. But at the end of the day, I became 39 degrees. So this is the main difference between taking a frame, taking a fever, and continuously monitoring. This is the team. We are three co-founders. We actually established the company 2 years ago. I'm the CEO. Ezer is our CTO, is the algorithmics person. He's the genius one. He's expert with biomathematics and physics, and his algorithm is like a magic, really. Is amazed. Yochai is our agronomist. They're both PhD, and they met in the Hebrew University in the agriculture faculty. We, in addition to them, of course, we have a product manager, and our advisory board are very distinguished. One of them is the VP Business Development of Luxembourg, who has a lot of connections, and Hillel Magen was the VP agronomist of ICL, who immediately came to consult us. So what is the market that I'm aiming for? The market is the covered agriculture market. And why is that? Because all the green, the open fields are matured. Lots of technologies are already in there. And the arable land, of course, is very limited. And the trend is going into greenhouses, into cover agriculture, which can provide even 170 times crops yield per hectare versus open field in the modern greenhouses. So as you see, the CAGR is very high. It's 15% per year, and it's supposed to be $100 million by the end of 2030. So this is why we are going into this market. And in addition to that, of course, it's relating to the demand for the UN goals and to ESG goals and demand for better quality food with less resources. So this is the market, as I previously declared. It's going to be about $30 and $40 billion. And we are talking about $135 billion, which is our total available market regarding our niches. And we are taking a very convenient 5% serviceable available market. If it would be more than that, we will be more than happy. Where we are. So
Karen, can you finish?
Yeah, so okay, so just quickly about what we're raising. We raised already almost $1 million. Our investors believe in us, and they are going to secure 50% out of the next round. It's going to be $1.5 million seed round, and later with higher, of course, cap value, it's going to be the round A. It's going to be provided to R&D and go to market. We already start talking with distributors. We have now already, we're going to be having to sign an MOU with distributor in Brazil. We have several implementation in Israel, and we're talking about several business model, the distributor, the feature in the platform of field management, and the feature is in equipment sellers like greenhouse sellers that can put our cameras inside. Was it okay? Finished at the right time?
Thank you very much, Karen.
Thank you for your
So,
patience.
yeah,
Yeah.
so we have a few questions. Does it require special camera? A regular surveillance camera at the greenhouse will do?
So the camera is actually a RGB camera. It's a security camera, which is about 2 to 8 megapixel. That's all. We bypass all the resolution issue here, and it's going to be 2 or 3 cameras in per hectare. But if it's the same crop, it's enough for us to sample what's going on.
Okay, thank you very much. Any more questions for Yevul info?
The ROI for farmers should be very fast. At the end of the season, it should be immediate returns. So this is a very important thing for us.
Okay, okay. It seems there are no more questions. If anyone have any questions for either Karen, Yevul info, or any other company startup that you've just heard and were interested and wanted to ask questions, so please email and we'll reply accordingly.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. And Eyal, please.
Yeah, thank you, everybody, all the companies for these great and fascinating presentations, and for all of you for participating. And I hope great connections will grow out of this day. Good luck to everybody.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.